In this video, we'll be focusing on asset functionality within Axiom. As we've seen in previous videos, there are a few container controls which can be linked to an asset type if the Canary system has any virtual views configured where assets are defined. We'll begin by setting our screen to an asset type using the asset instance property. First, we'll select a virtual view, then choose an asset type. For the screen, we'll select a district asset type. Next, we'll select any one of the district instances to start. You'll notice a new icon appears in the top toolbar. Clicking this icon allows us to switch between the different districts the screen is set to when the application is in live mode. This is the modal asset picker mode. If we select the inline option from the drop-down menu, a list of the district assets appears on the left. We can change the width of this list using the property above. Now, if we want, we can begin dropping controls onto the screen and link them to tags that pertain to the district. Let's use a bar chart and set it to a district level tag. Now, if we put the application into live mode, we can switch between districts and see the bar chart update. Next, we'll start exploring how the parent-child relationship of assets works within Axiom. We already have the screen set to the district asset type. Let's throw another control onto the screen that can also be set to an asset type. We can choose between panels, grids, asset templates, or trend graphs. Let's use a grid for this example. Using the asset type property, we'll select the asset icon. You'll notice that we skipped the virtual view page because the screen is already set to use the water district view. You'll also notice that the list of available asset types has been narrowed. That's because the screen is set to the district asset type, and when embedding another asset control within another asset control, the only asset types that are available are the child assets of the parent asset type. In this case, pumps, pumping stations, and towers are all child assets of a district. Any child asset is available to choose, whether it be the immediate child or another child asset further down in the hierarchy. Let's use pumps. Immediately, the grid is populated with all the child pump assets of the given district. Let's drop a few controls into the grid and link them to pump tags. Now, when we put the application back in live mode and change districts, we'll also see the grid update with the pumps that pertain to that district. The last thing we'll look at, as it pertains to asset functionality, is navigation between screens or other applications. We'll first start by adding a new screen and setting it to the pump asset type. I'm going to leave it in the modal option, but so we can know which asset instance we are looking at, I'll add an asset label. Next, I'll add a trend graph to the screen and throw some pump tags on it. Now, I'll go back to screen 1 and edit the asset labels within our grid control. Remember, the grid and screen 2 are both set to the pump asset type. Using the navigate source property of the asset label, we will choose the screen option and select screen 2. Therein, whenever we click the asset label, it will navigate us to that screen. Let's put it in live mode again and see what happens. First, I'll switch my district. Then I'll click one of my asset labels. Let's use Station 2 Pump 1. you'll notice that Screen 2 has loaded the information for the asset instance we clicked on in the grid, Haze, Station 2, Pump 1. This type of navigation is possible not only from one screen to another, but also from application to application, provided they are both set up to use the same asset type. So that's all for asset functionality. We saw how you can embed child asset controls into their parent asset control, and how you can navigate from screen to screen and pass in the asset path, provided they are both set to use the same asset type. Thanks for watching.